Hey, are you one of the few people that are still voting for Donald Trump and Republicans in this election? Are you doing that because that's what your friends and your family do, so that's what you got to do too, otherwise you'll be an outcast? Is that why you're doing that? That's not a good reason. See, your friends and your family are ignorant if they're still supporting Donald Trump and Republicans. They can't think for themselves or refuse to. And they're making an idiot out of you as well. If you're somebody who said, well, I'm voting for Donald Trump because, well, things were cheaper when Donald Trump was president. That's right. Things were cheaper when Donald Trump was president. And you can thank President Obama for that, and Democratic policies is what you can thank for. See, Barack Obama presided over the longest period of private sector job growth in American history and handed that economy to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump rode Obama's coattails because Donald Trump didn't implement one single economic policy to positively impact this economy in any way whatsoever. The only thing he did was pass a permanent tax cuts for billionaires and corporations. That's what he did. And that cost the taxpayers $3 trillion. In fact, Donald Trump added $8 trillion to the debt in 4 years, more than any president in American history. Okay? That's what he did. If you didn't like your high gas prices that we had after Trump left, blame Donald Trump because he's the one that negotiated OPEC Plus with the Saudis and the Russians before he left office and had them cut oil production for 2.5 years. At a time when we was coming out of the pandemic and people started driving again, increasing demand while the supply was low. So if you was pissed about your gas prices, you should be blaming Donald Trump. The only time that gas prices dipped below $2 a gallon was for about a week during the pandemic when nobody was driving. Okay? And it's because of the pandemic. Nothing to do with Donald Trump. In fact, the years between the time he was elected and the time that he left office, gas prices didn't do nothing but rise under his watch. If you're pissed off because housing prices are too expensive and rent's too expensive, blame Donald Trump and Republicans because they're the ones that deregulated the housing market and allowed companies like BlackRock and Vanguard to buy up millions of single-family homes throughout this country and sit on them, creating a housing shortage and artificially driving the price up. They did that. Trump did that. Republicans did that. If you don't like high grocery prices, blame the corporations like Kroger, who just sit in front of Congress and admitted that they've been price gouging since the pandemic. Them and all the other grocery store chains got together and conspired to do it. But now you don't like anti-price gouging legislation because Donald Trump ain't doing it, right? Because Kamala Harris is the one that's trying to do it. Therefore, that's communism, right? If Donald Trump said that he was going to do something about those prices, you'd be all for it. It's because you're in a fucking cult. See, Democrats have tried time and time again to put forth legislation to go after these corporations for price gouging, and it's blocked by Republicans every single time. But yet you people go out there and still keep voting for Republicans, even though it's a fact that you can't name one single Republican policy that was designed to benefit anybody except the rich in the last 40 years. And you keep electing them anyway. And you couldn't do it if it wasn't for gerrymandering and rigging elections. The things you accuse Democrats of that, by the way, Republicans do every single election. So if you're still voting for Republicans and Donald Trump in this time period, 2024, you're an ignorant son of a bitch, is what you are. Lazy and ignorant. Inmate Trump 2024.